So let's continue on with a few more definitions right here. Here's my drawing of my angles here in standard position. And as I go around in the positive direction counterclockwise, I'd say here's my 0 degree position, here's my 90 degree position, here's my 180 degree position, here's my 270 degree position, and then finally one full turn around 360 degrees. And you can see, according to this scale right here, about where all the measures in between are. But what I wanted to do is I want to point out this idea of coterminal angles. How do we get coterminal angles? Two angles are said to be coterminal if they, in standard position, have the same terminating position. So for us, in my example right here, 130 degrees is coterminal to negative 230 degrees. And how do we know they are coterminal? Coterminal angles are angles that have the same standard position but end in the same terminating position, right? A coterminal to negative 230 degrees. Now, you notice anything about those? Well, you should, because how do we get our coterminal angles? Other than saying, well, the difference between them is that there's 360 degrees of difference between these two. Right? 130 degrees minus our negative 230 degrees gives us a difference of a total of 360 degrees. And in fact, anytime we're interested in coterminal angles, we're interested in finding those particular positions that are coterminal to them. So let's try a couple here. And actually, this is sort of interesting. Let's go down here to the third quadrant. And I'm going to measure you an angle of 240 degrees. All right, so I've got this angle, positive 240 degrees. All right, let's find two coterminal angles to 240 degrees, one positive, one negative. Well, one negative angle right here would be to measure from standard position to the other side. What would that be? Well, let's take 360 degrees and subtract our 240 degrees, and what we find right here is negative 120 degrees, probably 240 minus 360. I should probably do it the other way around, right? If we want that negative angle right here, we would start with our original angle of 240 degrees and subtract away 360 degrees to get a negative angle. And we would find our negative angle to be negative 120 degrees. So our negative 120 degrees is coterminal to 240 degrees. But then you're saying, all right, let's find two angles. Well, another angle could be found by going coterminal to this one in standard position by going 240 degrees and then going one more full rotation around to get to the same endpoint. Where are we at? Well, in this case, if we took 240 degrees and added 360 degrees, we end up at 600 degrees. So we have a 600 degree angle as coterminal to 240 degrees. Now, there are more of them. We can keep on going by adding another 360 degrees, get 960 degrees. Or we could subtract away another 360 degrees and get another negative angle that is coterminal to this. Coterminal angles are actually very easy to find. We're just adding or subtracting multiples of 360 degrees. So you might see a problem like this one. Find a coterminal angle positive angle to, let's make it 1124 degrees. right? What would we be doing? Well, we're going to be taking away multiples of 360, right? So let's see, 360 times 1 is just 360 degrees. 720 degrees is 2 full rotations. 1020 degrees. Let's see, was it 1020? 0, just add 360 degrees. 0062, that's 10,080, pardon me, 1080 degrees. So let's see, well, that seems to be, if we added 360 more, we might be well over this. So let's take 1124 and subtract 3 full rotations of 360, 1080, and my coterminal angle is going to be 4 minus 0, 4, 12 minus 8, 4, 44 degrees. So 44 degrees is the coterminal angle. Now, there are reference angles, but we're going to talk about that in section 5.3 and 5.4. So we'll save that discussion for later right here. Complementary angles and supplementary angles. I don't know if you remember these terms right here, but complementary angles are two angles whose sum is 90 degrees. Right, so two angles that are complementary are said to have a sum of 90 degrees. Two angles that are supplementary have a sum equal to 180 degrees this time. Right, so supplementary, complementary. So we might be interested in saying, all right, what is the supplementary angle, or what is the complement with an E to our 44 degree angle? Well, the answer is just to subtract it from 90 degrees. So 90 degrees minus 44 degrees, well, that gives us 46 degrees as the complement. Right? The supplement would be similar, just subtract it from 180 degrees instead. Okay, more to come.